I am proud to say that I ran a great transformative campaign race in this August 20th primary. I was underestimated because I did not follow the traditional rules and process of a political campaign that was effective in 2008, which still has very rich foundational lessons to hold dear. However, in this tech-driven economy, more was needed to be able to impact in such a way for a new highly qualified candidate such as myself to be noticed. Meanwhile, I may have lost this primary election, but I will continue to fight, putting people first over profits. To the incumbent, Kimberly Daniels, congratulations to you this time, but I'm letting you know I've already filed for Florida House District 14 race again for 2026, and it will be here before you know it. You can be defeated with unethical tactics, distractions of drama, legal shenanigans to confuse voters, and underhandedness to engage Republicans in a closed primary Democratic race. So thank you, Kimberly Daniels, and your Republican allies and donors for showing me how to defeat you in 2026. A word of advice to you, though. You still should pick a political party that you really can be true to. To the Florida House District 14 residents, I did my best to educate you on all I could during my campaign on the facts of the incumbent Daniels voting record. So it is up to each of you now who voted and did not vote to hold her accountable for improving your district with the tax dollars that you faithfully pay, that funds her salary to serve you and not to serve herself. If you voted and you pay taxes, you all demand growth in your district. So each of you need to pay more attention to her voting record in the State House of Representatives in Florida, as well as emailing her and calling her to keep her accountable for the next 2 years to make sure she brings the taxpayer dollars back to the district to address the issues of food desert, affordable housing with rent control, making sure you have livable wages to work for in your district and not have to work outside your district, and adequate transportation, and so much more. How did I get here? I made an inquiry to Representative Nixon about what it would take for run for office. And then I had an in-depth conversation with Mr. Philip Minor about running for office, who deferred me to Margie Stein of Blue Florida 140 of Central Florida, and Dr. Fergie Reed Jr., the CEO of 90 for 90 from California, who both collectively supported my 10-year desire to run for office, and their financial support for me to qualify the last week on June 3rd, 2024, and was able to become official on June 10th, 2024. My dream and reality to enter this State House District race in the final weeks of the qualifying period left many locals questioning whether a late entry could make a difference during this election season. But driven by commitment to putting community first, I knew with Margie Stein and Dr. Fergie Reed Jr. together, we could make a profound impact in Duval County. The daunting task of dual role as a candidate and a campaign manager, running a campaign while in the dissertation stages of my dual doctoral degree, would not have been possible without my Chief Administrative Officer, Simeon Russ, the CEO of Back Office Executive Incorporated, to ensure that I spiritually and professionally stayed focused on the goal, with my husband being my driver and anything else behind the scenes that I needed during this campaign. Thank you for the spiritual coverage during this campaign from Apostle Dr. Ronald D. Ackerson II and Apostle Shanika Ackerson and the Abundant Grace Worship Ministries International. The power of this relationship was a divine timely connection to support and help me to accomplish the goal. Next, for every donor, reoccurring donor that gave to support my campaign, that I know for some, it was a show of commitment for change, and others, it was a sacrifice of the increased cost of housing, homeowners insurance, food, healthcare, transportation, while hoping and praying for change to come. Thank you all for believing and trusting in me as the new voice and new advocate that was running for Florida House District 14. Also, to those who supported me behind the scenes that I was not aware of, I want to say thank you. Primary election is the election for representation that will fight for our local issues. According to the Duval elections, Florida State House District 14 has 60,000 registered voters, and only 11,000 people voted this August 20th. This mindset issue says we are okay with the misuse of power and tax dollars that's not being invested back in our to District 14. For the next 2 years, you must go outside of your district to enjoy tax dollars instead of in your own backyard where you live. To the state and local Democratic Party, you could have done more than be a bystander in this partisan race. Allowing the party bylaws to place a chokehold in partisan races needs to be changed or amended and added when party members vote against democratic values that we hold dear. Continuing such a good old boy pattern and practice by leadership and members along with elected officials continues to help Republicans to infiltrate the registered Democrats to disenfranchise the Democratic Party. Because the goal is control. And if we want that type of control, we must change the way we do business. Residents who vote on name only without considering a constituent's voting record are low information voters. I encourage you increasing your civic engagement activities by visiting mobilize.us to understand and get engaged on policy and legislation and how it impacts your quality of life every day. Voting based on name familiarity and not moral values, and knowing the voting record of our current representatives is a slap in the face that our ancestors have fought and died for, to make sure that bad actors are not allowed to divide us with homeless, with housing, food, employment, and transportation. And not to mention the enforcement of Project 2025, and now known as Amendment 47, which is one and the same. That is a target for Black and Brown residents. For the caucuses and clubs that endorse me, I want to say thank you. And I am soliciting your time, talent, and treasures to reach every voter in Florida House District 14 was just not enough. In just 100 days, we've proven that with determination, dedication, and true connection to our values, change is not only possible, it is inevitable. From the beginning of this campaign, it has always been about you, the people of our community. Growing up in College Gardens, Newtown, as a proud graduate of Edward White Senior High School, I have always believed in the strength and resilience of our neighborhoods. My heart and soul are rooted in this foundation, which has guided me throughout this campaign. We've seen incredible support from all corners of our community with 19 endorsements from caucuses and clubs such as the Florida Public Education Caucus, Organization for Planned Parenthood of Southeast and North Florida, Alliance of Planned Parenthood Affiliates, Florida Planned Parenthood PAC, the Democratic Progressive Caucus of Florida, the Democratic Muslim Caucus, Duval County Spectrum LGBTQ Caucus, Environmental Caucus, Florida Rising, Democratic Hispanic Caucus of Florida, JAC's National Organization of Women PAC, Next Step Florida, SEIU Florida, Service Employees International Union, Florida Nurses Association, Florida AFL-CIO of North Florida, Central Labor Council, Democratic Women Information Network, Duval County Asian Pacific Caucus, Florida South Asian Caucus, Markers of Democracy for Postcarding of 15,000, Florida Young Democrats, Duval Democratic Black Caucus, Florida Young Democrats, National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, NORML. Including these esteemed AFL-CIO endorsements, This recognition is a testament to my shared values and a tribute to my late father and my husband, both dedicated blue-collar workers with 52 years of combined experience. Their hard work and commitment to the labor movement has inspired me every step of the way. Being a true Democrat since 1988, I have always believed in government that serves the people with transparency, accessibility, and transformative leadership. These principles have been the cornerstone of my professional and personal life, and they will continue to guide me as I run for office in 2026 for Florida House District 14, but meanwhile, doing the groundwork leading up to that moment. However, I say thank you to those who made calls, texts, wave signs, canvas, talk to your neighbors who knew and I didn't know about. So you ask yourself, what's next for Therese? I'm glad you asked. As of August 19, 2024, I have established my own political action committee, putting people and community first, where the mission statement is to empower communities by advocating for policies that ensure equitable access to healthcare, quality education, environmental sustainability, economic opportunities, and social justice. We are committed to comprehensive voter education and outreach, supporting candidates from the moment they qualify to run through the end of their campaigns. Our goal is to amplify the voices of residents, ensuring that every vote counts and that the public policies truly affect the diverse needs and values of the community. Our key issues is healthcare, advocating for Medicaid expansion, mental health support, and equitable access to healthcare, especially for underserved communities. We support policies that close the coverage gap and ensure quality care for all. Education, promoting equitable funding for schools, incorporating industry certifications into higher education and K-12 education, and opposing legislation that censors accurate historical education. We support initiatives that increase teacher salaries and address social equity disparities in education. Environmental sustainability, focus on climate change, resilience, on water quality, waste management, and environmental justice. We advocate for policies that leverage innovative technologies to address environmental challenges effectively. Economic opportunity, where we support job training programs, small business growth, and economic development initiatives that provide livable wages and meet market demands. We aim to foster a thriving local economy that benefits all residents. Social justice champion, policies that ensure equity and justice for all, particularly in healthcare, education, and workers' rights. We are committed to protecting the rights of marginalized communities and addressing systemic inequalities. Voter education and outreach, ensuring that every citizen is informed, engaged, and empowered to participate in the democratic process. We prioritize an inclusive voter education efforts and outreach initiatives to increase voter turnout and civic engagement. Candidate support, providing comprehensive support to candidates who share our values from the moment they qualify to run until the election is over. We assist with fundraising, outreach, and strategy to ensure they can effectively advocate for the issues that matter most to the community. The website for the PAC will be launched in September 2024 to provide more details on how you can get involved. As of August 20th, 2024, I have written an ebook entitled From the Underestimated to Unstoppable, the campaign that pressured an incumbent and reshaped local politics. That will be available for purchase on August 30th, 2024. Stay tuned for details on my social media platforms on how to order. As of August 22nd, 2024, I have filed to run in the 2026 for Florida House District 14. I am fundraising now to begin establishing virtual and ground teams, beginning with supporting the Harris-Walsh presidential campaign for November 5th, 2024. In order for us to see and create community change, it takes a collective effort, not a solo one. So you can donate to my PayPal at MissTheresaWGamble@gmail.com. That's MRSTHERESEWGAMBLE@gmail.com. Again, I want to say thank you for every person that believed in me, trusted me, advocated for me, whether I was there in person or not. I am humbly and truly grateful, and I pray that I can continue to keep your support and advocacy for my upcoming reelection and the community initiatives that I will be launching. If you have any questions, you can reach me at 904 419 9585 or 904 444 7436. Again, this is the Real Democrat, Theresa V. Wakefield Gamble, and I am um, proud of my own self for how well I did with this campaign. So I look forward to working with the Harris and Walz campaign to help galvanize and do the same. So do not sit back and relax. We need all hands on deck, and we need everyone knocking on doors, making phone calls, doing text messaging, sending out postcards, sending out newsletters, everything that you can do to galvanize our community so we can continue to keep Duval County a blue county. Thank you so much. And again, I will be seeing you in the community, and I will be running again. So beware, incumbent Kimberly Daniels. I am coming again. Thank you.